I've been saying for years that I'd like to make a proper, explorative documentary about goths around the world, and thousands of you have said that you'd love to see it, so you know what? I'm gonna do it. For the last 10 years, I've been the world's best known goth YouTuber, where I've taken the audience to festivals, events, underground clubs, markets, opened a window on this mysterious subculture to a large online audience. I've visited and filmed in many different countries, and I observed that everywhere I went, the goths were different. The scene in every location reflects the culture of that country, the societal constraints, the socio-economic conditions. Most people out there think that goth is just a phase that moody teenagers go through. It's something that transcends culture, class and creed. But what is goth? It's a music-based subculture, so many say it's all about the music, even though many of the quintessential goth bands are completely different genres. Is it the aesthetic, the makeup, the hair, the fashion, even though the styles are multifarious? Some say the music and fashion don't matter at all, that it's a mindset, seeing beauty in the macabre and death and sadness. And the result is a never-ending online debate. I have yet to meet the person who can easily describe what goth is. Is it the music, the aesthetic, the frame of mind? Is it all these things? Or is it something else? Everywhere in the world there's something that binds everyone. Something at this great global scene's dark heart. A single so far unexplainable ethos. There are documentaries out there about the global metal and punk scenes, but no such documentary exists about goths. And why not? They're so interesting. So I'm making that documentary. This project will be a fascinating deep dive into this mysterious underground scene, a worldwide exploration to discover what goth really is, what it means to be one, and to see how it manifests across different countries. It will show the audience how colourful are those who dress all in black. We're going to conduct interviews with iconic artists and key figures in the international scene, musicians, fashion designers, creatives, bloggers, and hear their perspectives. We're going to events and parties, big and small, to see goths in their natural habitat and to talk to them. But where are we going? We're going to multiple locations in Europe, the Americas, Asia, Oceania, and Africa. We're going to see what goth looks like all around the world. Why are you raising such a big amount, I hear you cry? It's actually very little for a large-scale project. This is not a vlog filmed on a Battersea point and shoot. This film will have a high production value and be of Netflix-worthy quality, ideally ending up somewhere like Netflix or similar. You only know me from YouTube, but I'm actually a fully qualified film school graduate with qualifications in film and TV production and screenwriting. This project will be cinematic, well-researched, thorough, visually beautiful. How could it not be? It's goths. And it'd be pretty cool to have an original soundtrack too, although that's a stretch goal. It will capture this unique subculture, present it to the world in the best way possible. It'll be informative, entertaining, and illuminating. From all funding sources, we're aiming for 500,000 New Zealand dollars. That's about 300,000 US dollars. This amount reflects the total we would need from all sources to ensure it happens. So corporate sponsors, feel free to get in touch. We're also applying for the very few available arts grants in New Zealand. So whatever doesn't get raised from Indiegogo will be sought from elsewhere, because this documentary really needs to exist. It'll be so interesting. But crowdfunding like this is a nice way for a film about goths to get made by goths and the people who love them. Where does the money go? The funds are for the entire production. It goes to paying the crew, equipment, licensing and legal fees, insurance, paying artists, visas, economy travel, transport, budget accommodation, music and graphics, post-production, subtitling and accessibility, and the biggest expense of all, distribution. Basically, the closer we get to the funding goal, the better the film will be and the sooner it can be made. It will be an all-Kiwi crew of 4. I've already got several talented people applying to get on board, and they'll be contracted in earnest once funding is granted. This documentary isn't just for goths or alternative people to watch, it's for everybody. It's for the world. This will either be a feature-length documentary of 190 minutes, or a docu-series split into 4 45-minute episodes, depending on how much interesting material we obtain. Once it's made, the film will be entered into international film festivals, sent to cinemas, submitted to online streaming services, and physical copies printed for you to own at home. I've been saying for years that it would be so interesting and worth doing something like this, and you've been saying you would love to see it, So let's do it. Let's make the documentary. Enormous thank you in advance if you're able to contribute in any way. And if you can't afford to donate, you can help by sharing posts and telling people about it. I will also mention that the title of it is so far just a working title. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. If you've got any suggestions of what you think it ought to be called, I would love to hear them. Thanks very much for visiting my campaign. I think this would be so wonderful and so worth it. So many people would really love it. It's something that hasn't been covered before, and it needs to be, because it's beautiful and special and really fascinating. People are so interesting. Thank you kindly for listening. Take care.